we come with messages of love and of light, with the unconditional support of humanity, all mankind, all of consciousness. Today we come with messages of surrendering control, surrendering to the process, surrendering to the flow of the universe, surrendering to the stories you have created and made about yourself and your life experience. And really surrendering to the flow, because the flow is where divine creation sits. Flow is where harmonic resonance sits. So as you get closer to the flow of love and light, you may feel ascension symptoms or fatigue because of the jump in vibrational awareness, because of the jump in the harmonic resonance, because of the frequency. As you keep saying, it's an upgrade, it's an upgrade, it's an upgrade. So what happens when you have already upgraded, and now what? There is no final date. There is no finale. It's continuous evolution. As you are connected to the planet and to the collective, so as you grow or upgrade, so does everything else, also can everything else. So allow us to start with surrendering control of anything that you want to put a finish date or a deadline to. Surrendering control because the deadline and the finish date is completely manufactured. Surrendering to the flow that deadline or the finish date does not exist, because flow has no start and has no end. It just is. So if you can embrace your connection to the divine creation, your connection to flow, the connection to love and light, there is no start and no end. It's continuous. It's a spiral. And once you're in flow, then you will have the realization and the awareness that there are no deadlines to meet, because they become unimportant. The only thing that matters is staying in the flow, staying connected, staying within the upgrade. Not the search for upgrading more, not the search of ascension. Allow the flow to take you on the journey to it. And know that you are ascending along the way. Know that you are healing on the way. And as you ascend and as you heal, so does everybody else. And everything else, all consciousness. So when you are looking at surrendering, again, what are you surrendering for yourself? What are you surrendering for the planet? What are you surrendering for the collective? Can you surrender the chase, the fight, the willingness to seek answers and to get to the bottom of things? Just as ascension and flow is a spiral, so is all of those things. So if you're continually chasing or continually in the fight, continually demanding answers, continually searching to the bottom of things, then that's the spiral that you will continue to spiral in. So can the frequency upgrade, can the harmonic resonance of the planet that's shifting you right now, can that kickstart or jumpstart you into a surrender to the flow? There is such a sweetness in surrendering. You may visualize surrendering as your hands up to the sky with a white flag. Shift this perspective to white light and stepping into it with an open heart and an open mind. As the energetic definition or the vibrational definition of surrender is literally making a decision or a choice to walk away from what no longer serves you. It's not an instruction that you follow, it's a choice that you make. And sometimes it takes a jump or a vibrational tune-up to make you more aware of where you're holding control. What are you trying to control and why? So then you can have the realization and an awakened moment to step back and ask yourself those questions. To then take the step forward to surrender into the white light, into the flow. As this is waiting for you to be embraced, this is waiting to embrace you. You can only see it when you are vibrationally attuned to the energy and to the timeline of releasing what no longer serves you, as well as surrendering to the flow. You can start this practice by taking the moment and taking the time to reflect on areas in your life or areas in your experience as the self, as the collective, and as a planet where you feel you have to take control or you have to be in control. Once you have those situations or those memories or those thoughts front of mind, ask yourself, can I surrender to this flow? Can I surrender this? Can I step into flow? Can I surrender this? Can I step into flow? Just that sentence is vibrationally upgrading you because you are associating something from one spiral and seeing another spiral. And as you are on the last bits and pieces of what no longer serves you, and you are cracking open the shell that is allowing more light into your bodies, the control and the surrender is one of the last energetic vibrational timelines that we can assist you in shifting for the divinity timeline to be stronger. What are you allowing, or what areas in your life are you allowing someone else or something else to control you? And what spiral does that look like? What sits in there? Is it money? Is it socials? Is it family? Is it children? Can you surrender that thought? Can you surrender to the fight? Can you surrender to the digging of the never-ending tunnel? Can you bring more light to that? Can you surrender control? Can you release your hands from balls of fists and allow your hands, which are energies of light and life, to be open just as your heart is opened, and surrender in the flow? Allow the universe to support. Allow the consciousness and the collective. Allow the planet to support your flow. Allow your ancestors and your guides and your angels to support you in flow as they are waiting for you to make that choice. Some people may see this as releasing the dark and stepping into light, or may not know what they are trying to control. And that's okay. Just having the awareness or doing the practice will bring you evidence of the areas on where you're doing that. This may come as what you would call a trigger, or this may come as an awakening moment. And remember to surrender not only for the self, but surrender the control for the collective. What areas are we as people, as humans, being controlled or stuck or in the fight? And how or why or when, as a people, can we surrender to the light? Because as we disconnect from that timeline, from that energy, from that story, as enough of us disconnect from it, it doesn't have enough vibrational attunement to continue as a future story. It will stay as a past story. What can we surrender for the planet? How can we surrender for the planet? How can we support the planet in more love and in more light? We ask you to use the violet flame. Offer these thoughts that no longer serve you. Offer the patterns of control that no longer serve the collective. Offer the storyline of control for the planet to the violet flame to transmute and to transcend those energies. Bring in, step in to the white light. Surrender with your open heart, open hands, in pure alignment of love and light, into the white light, into the energy of surrender, into the flow, and allow that white light to fill in the attachments that you have just transcended and transmuted. Allow the white light to fill in the empty spaces that were being held and stuck in the vibration of control. Allow the white light to fill in all of the spaces. So when people ask you, how was your day? Your reply is, I was in flow. I am in flow. I've surrendered to flow. So you're affirming and confirming your connection to divine creation, your connection to the flow, the connection to the support, the connection to the other system that awaits you. If your reply to that question is all of the things that you did that went right and went wrong for the day, then that's where your energy is. It's not in flow. It's in all of those things. So that can help you to check where that temperature is, or to check where your energy is at. And until you get to the answer of, I was in flow, I am in flow, I've surrendered to the flow, then you know that the violet flame has taken it all away from you, transmuted it. The white light has filled up all the empty spaces, replaced it with white light. Do you have any questions on this?
What things can we surrender to flow with the earth? Or what things can we surrender that we're controlling for the earth?
That's a very good question. What are you controlling as a collective on earth right now?
Resources is what keeps coming out. In terms of like,
that's one of them.
Yeah.
The fight over resources, the fight over minerals, the fight over money and debt, the control of your weather, the control of your food, the control of the waters, what is regulated and what is unregulated. The planet can adjust itself in its own equilibrium over time. So where one area is, let's say, on fire, another area could be flooding. Both balance of the planet, but you have to look at it from that perspective as balance. However, the narrative may be disastrous. The storyline of control that there is no life beyond Earth keeps Earth separated from the other planets and its galaxy. The information of black holes and the moon and the sun and its correlation between everything in terms of communication and in terms of knowledge has kept the planet from ascension. It is ascending now and upgrading now just as you are, because you are. It's only been able to produce new plant species and new insect species and new animals because of its ascension. So we can say that it did not ascend because of control. And these things may not be something that you think about every day, but it's becoming more into your awareness every day. Cloud seeding has been happening for a very long time. It was made as something fun and writing in the sky. It's still cloud seeding, or chemical trails masked as something else. It's only now that it's in your awareness that you're like, hang on a minute, what is this? And the fact that you've even, as a collective, said, hang on, wait a minute, what is this? And questioned, the awareness changes the timeline. The history of your people, the history of your planet is control of the planet. We use these as examples as we know that your soul can recognize our words and what we're saying. And you've always had that question. Now that you are questioning a little bit more, it's not about digging until you find the answer. It's just purely knowing that you are the answer. You have the answer. You don't need a controlling figure to give you the answers to define you or your planet or your story. Does this answer your question?
Yes. Yes. So, and what I'm understanding is we don't need to figure out the details of the control itself. We just need to understand that it's being controlled, and in the surrender of that allows for new creation or timeline shifts and changes to take place.
Correct. You don't even need to go out there and protest or do something about it in that sense. You just need to have the awareness. It's just like, let's take protesting as an example, because this is a human way of showing what they believe in a sense. So a lot more people can relate. Because you are not physically in that country protesting, but you are watching it on your media channels, you are aware of it. Are you sending energy there or not?
Well, yeah, you would be.
Correct. So you just have to be aware of the situation, whether you're for or against it. It doesn't matter. The universe does not understand yes and no. It just understands energy. So the more people that are tuning in to that protest is sending energy there. So as it's in your awareness that that protest is going on, and you have no for or against in your energy, but you just have the awareness that it's going on, your energy is already there.
Yeah. So it restructures the idea of positive and negative, pro, for. Like either way, if you're thinking about it, you're still feeding it energy, and we want to take energy away from these things.
Think about your energy as life. You are giving life force to something that does not serve you. And what are you giving your life force to?
Yeah.
When we are saying you don't need to dig and have the answers, and you don't need a controlling figure to give you the answer, you have it within yourself. We want to be clear that you may have a mission to find out the date of when this earth existed as your personal solo mission. So if that's what your mission is, of course, you would have to find that answer within yourself. But if you are continually digging, you'll be in the spiral of digging, not allowing the answer to come to you, not stepping into the flow, and the answers will be brought to you.
I understand. And it's shifting the we have to do something versus if we are aware that we want something different, when we surrender to the flow, that different will come, or that information we need will come versus having to do to get.
Correct. Correct. And in the doing is controlling. I must wake up at this time, I must go here, I must go there, and then I need to do this, and then I need to do that, then I need to do. Where is the flow in the do? Allow us to share another example, and you both can relate to this, as this is how you travel. When you are going on a vacation and you are planning out an itinerary of back-to-back activities, for example, okay? Where are you allowing the universe to step in? Where are you allowing the flow? Are you penciling into your itinerary to watch the sunrise, to watch the sunset. Free time. I mean, you are the one taking the vacation for free time, and you do not allow the free time to be part of your experience. But then you ask for signs from the universe and signs from your guides that they are there. How are we supposed to get into the schedule? And when you go and you travel and you allow that time, the best parts of your experience are the free time, are the synchronicities, are the flow, or is the flow. So if you take that back into your everyday life, how scheduled is your day? And how much free time or flow do you have? And can you allow for some of that? It doesn't have to change tomorrow. It doesn't have to be wiped clear tomorrow. Just be aware of where your energy is at. Be aware that there is some free time that you can enjoy yourself and be more in flow. And are you allowing that in to your to-do list? Do you have freeness at any time during your day? It's all well and nice to say that I'm not controlled. I've stepped away and I'm out of the controlled universe. I'm not part of any agenda. I don't answer to anybody. I am my soul light being. That's amazing. But can you stand in honor and stand in flow throughout your day all the time? All your days. Your search for control, your search for routine is not a natural behavior. It is a taught and learned behavior. I'm trying to get myself into a routine. I need to get back into my routine. That's where I feel the best, because you feed off the energy of control, but then you don't allow to be controlled by other people, but you are controlling yourself. So there's so much attachment to this. That's why we would ask you to sit with yourself and write that down and continually give to the violet flame. And you will automatically start to fill those spaces with something else of less control, but you will fill those spaces because that's a normal behavior. So we are asking the white light to fill those spaces. Fill it with free time, fill it with joy, fill it with passion, fill it with love, fill it with soul purpose. None of those items have a deadline. It is time for you to surrender what no longer is of service to you. And the learned behaviors that you're not even aware of, you can start to be aware of now. And this is an unfolding thing, because you will start to have your awareness of, well, if I'm structured and routine and I have a household and my household is structured and routine, what am I teaching the people around me, or how am I behaving to the people around me? And the best thing to do would be to allow them to listen to this, because they are their own individual soul. They are their own individual receiver of information. So they can have this understanding and awareness, or teach them how to be in freedom. Teach them how to connect to the white light and the divine creation of flow. Do not structure them with a free time. That will just be filling in a space. I mean, it's better than routine. And what's going to happen if you don't have a routine? Wildness. Well, what will happen if you stay in routine? The same spiral. take the time to do this practice, take the time to do this exercise, and it may have layers to it for you. You may give your things to the violet flame, fill in the white spaces, and then a couple of weeks or even a month later, realize, actually, no, I want to release this as well. So this is an ongoing releasement. But it's a very vital and important practice for the collective and for the planet. Because if we are not feeding a light and a timeline of controlled energy, then the acceleration of growth and light is inevitable. It's right there on the other side of this. So what is your contribution to the self, the collective, and the planet?